Hello, Potato. Today we are going to finish this bin. Yep, we're going to finish it. There's only like 5 or 6 things left in here. We're going to whip through them, and this bin will be done. This is, what, the 4th bin I think we've done? 4th or 5th? I can't keep track anymore. But let's get into it. Starting off with this old Target bag, where you can sign up to save 10%, which I guess was like their version of the red card at the time. And we've got, I mentioned him yesterday. Except for, this is from Escape from LA though, not Escape from New York. I'm realizing now, going through these, a lot of these figures are not from the movie you would expect them to actually be from, but from sequels. I mean, it makes sense, of course, that Jason wouldn't be in the original Friday the 13th, because that Jason was not the Jason we know. However, you do kind of expect the Snake Plissken would be from Escape from New York, which is the original and the classic, and Escape from LA, I mean, kinda goony sequel. But I guess also that these toys came out around the time Escape from LA had come out. Let's get a good look at him while knocking lots of things over. Yep, we got the Kurt Russell face there. He's got his gun. The guns on his holsters do actually come out. The jacket does actually come off, but you have to pop his arms off and slip them out of the sleeves to do it. Because I think he may have came not wearing the jacket. Either that or the time I had actually gone through the trouble to take it off and then put it back on again for some reason. Because, I mean, he looks cool with his jacket on, right? He doesn't seem to stand very well, and I'm wondering if that's... If there's... Ah, yes. Okay, there is some posability at the knees. Or just above the knees. So maybe we can get him to... That's probably about as good as we're going to get on him. Yep, again, not a horror figure. Science fiction. Well, really more action. Dystopian future action. His poster's coming apart, which isn't nice, but if I ever actually get around to putting these out somewhere permanently, I will take time to go through and hot glue all those and fix them back together. What do we have next? Hiding in an old Walmart bag. It's the other half. So we're going to get like all heroes today? That would be funny. It's Ash. And he's got a couple extra pieces in here. Yep, chainsaws don't seem to store very well in these, do they? Wow, he's managed to hold on to all these years. He still is holding on to the Necronomicon. Now, I don't know how this compares to, like, I think Mezco, I think, is the one who's making these now, compares to theirs. I'm sure theirs has a lot more articulation. But I think it's still a good-looking figure. It comes with his metal hand, so you can swap that out for the chainsaw if you want. And one of the mini Ashes from the windmill sequence. And, of course, he has his boomstick, which I believe, yep, does come out if you wiggle it enough. There we go. It's also a little warped from being on his back for 20 years. Yep. Probably one of my all-time favorite movies, at least when I was younger. Bruce Campbell is an American classic who needs to be revered and preserved. Alright, well, I'm thinking we're not getting another hero this time, although I could be wrong. Yeah, it's not a hero. Weirdly, and I don't remember this at the time, but Ghostface is not from Scream, he's just Ghostface. And I'm sure there's a story behind that, I'm guessing to do with maybe with Ghostface, since it really was just like a legitimate Halloween costume you could go out and buy. Maybe they didn't have like the rights for him that they could license out at the time. So they didn't have to pay for the Scream license to make a figure of him. But he's got more articulation than a lot of these figures. Got at the elbow, up near the shoulder. But of course, being the fabric-y nature of the costume, it kind of makes it look weird if you don't get it just right. See there, now it's synced up properly to the rest of his sleeve. When I pulled it out of the box, apparently I had it upside down. Looks like I may have it on this one too. But I mean, it's a decent looking figure, fairly simple. I mean, it's a basic Halloween costume. But Scream, I think, is a classic attempt to bring back slasher films, which I don't think was necessarily super successful. I mean, we had a few years there. But he's got his knife. He's got his old-timey 1990s cell phone. Yeah. Back before phones replaced computers. Let's put you... These guys just do not want to stand up today. They're also kind of awkwardly, maybe like that. There we go. Kind of an awkward position, but he balances there. You know, these things did all stand up on their own at one point. I'm wondering how I got them to stand up then and I can't get them to stand up now. Let's put you over here, Mr. Ghost-Faced Killer. Alright, I think we have... Oh. Here's one of the targets to that Legend of Zelda toy from a few days ago. Too bad that's already bagged back up. Oh, this is a heavy one. Well, we have another box set here, or multi-package set here. Or if it's something else entirely. It's something else entirely. Alright, I think these guys are from Quake II. Oh, that's kind of cool. Quake II was a beautiful looking game. It was a little disappointing in the fact that, you know, there was like not much else to it. I think this is like one of the big... I haven't played Quake II in like 30 years. Probably since before I bought the figures. Alright. Yeah, there's a few figures in here. Maybe not all Quake II. I think so, though. So I assume this must have been one of the big bads. And it had that kind of clunky, squarish design because you couldn't get super polygonal back then. But the figures, of course, are much kind of higher res than the game was. But this is interesting. I noticed when I was taking out of the bag, his head tracks where the missile launcher looks. That's kind of a cool detail. He's got actual metal springs on his legs here, which do actually compact. So that's a neat detail. I may have to do two pictures again today. And of course, now that I've messed with him a little bit, he doesn't want to stand up anymore. I can't talk too much about these because I really don't remember much of anything about the game. I remember the beginning sequence. The little gears on his legs. Look, the little gears on his legs actually turn. This is some nice detail. I can see why I bought these. Plus, they're just cool designs. Alright, so what else we have? We have our protagonist character who looks like he is playing air guitar right now. I'm guessing we can fix that with some guns. We've got this. I think these are the little floating drones. There was a sequence, I think, in a factory where they were converting the other humans into these little mech things. I think this is like one of the floating drones from that. I'm guessing it must have come with something else because it doesn't seem like very much on its own. So it doesn't seem to do anything. And I have no recollection of these whatsoever. But check him out. He appears to have... Does that go on him? Or is that off of another figure? I don't know if that's for him or not. Because it was kind of... Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a crown of... He has a tiara. Because why wouldn't this thing have a tiara? Oh, the little mouth moves. Any indication who made these? I'm guessing it's the same people that made those other figures I looked at last week that I couldn't identify. Yep, I don't see any manufacturers' names on there. I don't honestly see even anything here that specifies that it came from Quake. No, like, id Software licensing written on it or anything. Come on, stand up. There we go. It's got to put his arms up. Nope. Now he's lost it again. There we go. He'll fall over next time I put something on the table, though. We have one more figure in here, and then... Oh, no, I think these are all the heroes. Oh, no, there's some more stuff in here. There is some sort of a zombie dog thing. I don't know why the camera really likes to focus on the background more than the things I'm putting actually in the little square on my screen that I'm supposed to focus on. It really likes to focus on the background instead. And I think we may have our first fatality here, but looks like it may just pop off and back on again. This one is missing an arm. Is that her arm? I think that's her arm. Yeah, looks like... I wonder if maybe she had spare arms. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's supposed to come off. I'm sure she had some real metal name, but I don't know what it is. What she doesn't have is any manufacturing marks to indicate who made her. Yep, gotta have your scary zombie woman. Scary zombie cyborg woman. I think the plot line was that some lines of they were like converting all the humans into like cyborgs, like heavy metal album cover cyborgs. And there she goes. I want to say there was some promise of like you getting to take part in an ongoing battle. I think at the beginning you actually you get sent down to the planet in a dropship with a bunch of other soldiers, but then you like never see them again. You hear them occasionally on the radio, and there are some bits that go to these figures that I did not put in. So he gets a little grabby tentacle thing. There it goes. There it all goes. It's all down. Let's fix that. All right, so it looks like out of the bag, like everybody was missing stuff. And they're all really precariously placed right now, so I'm going to try to be careful in showing you. So the little dog guy here has a little tentacle thing comes out above its head. Of course, our hero, who honestly I think is kind of the weakest to the figures, has his guns. He also has a little knife, which looks like it should have a place that it slots in on him somewhere because it's got little pegs on the side. But I don't see any like little peg holes for it. But he's got a rocket launcher and a machine gun. And yep, they're already falling over. Of course, she was missing her arm. Nothing else seems to be missing from her. Just going to kind of lean them off to the side over here. He had an arm that goes on the front. Whatever. I'm thinking this probably came with the little dog guy. Because, again, there's not much to either of them. Something they probably were a 2-pack. He actually has full-on shoulder armor. I thought that at first was going to be for the good guy, but nope, that's for him. And it makes him even harder to stand up. Sorry to interrupt myself here, but looking through these now as I'm taking the pictures for the Void of Intelligence Facebook page and Instagram, I don't think he's a Quake figure at all. He really doesn't match the aesthetics, other than maybe the armor. I think this is actually a Duke Nukem 3D figure. I think this is an enemy from Duke Nukem 3D. This is where having manufacturer marks and copyrights would have been helpful. But yeah, the more I look at him, the more I think he's Duke 3D. I don't think he's Quake II. Just thought I'd point that out here before somebody decided to point it out in the comments, maybe. Yeah, so that's all. Back to previous me. And this guy was actually missing... See, there he goes. He doesn't want to stand up. This guy actually has a little piece that covers those leg gears. Unfortunately, it does not want to stay on. It's got like four pegs that slot into it, but it pops off super easy. Yep, those are the Quake II figures. All right, we have one more bag in here. One more bag, and then we will call it an end of today and an end of this bag. And it's another McFarlane's Monsters set. So I guess we'll do another jump cut while I put this together. All a little bit. This is another tall one, like the Phantom of the Opera one, which I think means it was probably the second series? I don't know, I'd have to look it up. Yep, so we'll jump cut to it being done right now. So got it put together. All went together fairly easily. Interesting details here. This actually is spring-loaded on the boat. So I'm thinking at one point you actually could have fired this, which is probably why the tip is really, really soft and rubbery. Our little diver here, this is like not the creature from the Black Lagoon, but like a sea creature set. Has actual real hair, which kind of makes it look like he's maybe been exposed to radiation. Because it's really sparse, but I mean, it's a nice detail. That is, of course, completely hidden by his diving helmet. He has an extra arm you can swap out if you want him to be a little battle damaged. Unfortunately, while putting this back together, the creature's head dropped off. Yep, kind of the same as the head on my Hunter from the Wolf set. So that's unfortunate. I mean, it's gluable, but I mean, you can see this. It's a very small join there. Yep, it dropped off while I was putting everything else back together. But he had a decent amount of articulation too. He bent over there at the midsection, the arms, nothing in like the wrists or anything, but you could make him, all rawr. Yeah, it's a shame his head just, literally just fell off. The set's another one of these taller ones, kind of like Phantom. Everything fits together really nicely. It all fits only one possible way, so it's really easy to put together even without the instructions. And you have like little things. You have a skull down here and a little treasure chest. It's a lot of nice detail work, and it's just unfortunate that it's the last thing we're looking at today, and the head dropped off of it. But that is the last thing we're looking at today. That's everything we've got. So tomorrow we'll do something new. I think we'll actually do something different. I have an idea based on something I've watched on another YouTube channel, and I think we'll do that tomorrow, and I'll go into what channel I'm stealing it from then. So I now just ask you to please wash your hands carefully, wear your mask when out in public, practice your safe social distancing, and stay healthy. And I'll see you in the next video.